Let's go back to Nevada now. As Vice President Harris campaigns tonight in Las Vegas, we want to bring back in, because we believe we've fixed our connections, retired U.S. Army Captain Sam Brown, running for Senate as a Republican in Nevada against the Democrat incumbent there, Jackie Rosen. There's a new poll out that seems to show her with a significant lead. What do you say about that, Sam?
Well, you know, John, it's early on, and one of the things that we've got to look out for are essentially bad polls. And so what we've seen over the last 8 months is President Trump leading very strongly. From what I can tell, this was an outlier poll. There was no crosstab data provided. And look, I'm a halfway intelligent guy. I went to West Point. I actually studied political science there. And so when I see a bad poll, I understand that. Here's the thing. If they were doing so well here, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz would not be in the state and putting such an emphasis here. In fact, what we see them doing is flipping their messaging on things like no tax on tips. In fact, when President Trump introduced that, as you'll remember, in Las Vegas at his rally, the Democrats initially came out and called it a campaign gimmick. And even my opponent, Jackie Rosen, went as far as to say that it would hurt working class families. Now, once they heard back from Nevadans that this is a good proposal and something we want, they changed their tune. The Culinary Union is now endorsing it. And they understand that President Trump and Republicans like myself are the ones leading on behalf of working class families.
But no Democratic candidate has lost in Nevada statewide since 2012. You think you can buck that trend?
We're certainly going to buck that trend because, look, for the last 4 years, Nevadans have been living under this administration. People are really hurting. They're concerned about what their future looks like under a Kamala Harris administration, because she has gone along with the Biden administration, and so has Senator Jackie Rosen. The Senate majority has allowed for the border to be left wide open. It's a crisis of untold proportions. We have economic crisis as well. We have the second highest unemployment rate in the nation, the second highest energy cost in the nation. And this is all on the back of the Biden administration, which Harris will continue to push. People's memories are not so short that they can't remember how things were under President Trump. And President Trump and a Republican majority in Congress will help bring back sane policy that helps people out.
You mentioned the inflation rate in Nevada, and we have a graphic that shows just how bad it is. I mean, it's bad in every state, but in particular in Nevada, the inflation rate there, monthly increases since January 2021. Shelter, $267, food, $152, energy, $145, and transportation, $322. That's in 3 years. That's a significant amount of money for the average family, and people have to be wondering where they're supposed to get that money.
It is. And look, if the Democrats find their way to stay in power, we're going to see an expiration of the Trump-era tax cuts. Taxes are going to go up. The Democrats have signaled that they are looking to spend more, which in their mind requires them to extract more out of the Americans through taxes. What we need are people in positions of leadership who will reduce our tax burden, who will also, frankly, get regulators, the bureaucrats with regulations out of the way. Regulations are a form of friction on business owners, and I'm talking about big business, and I'm talking about restaurants, local manufacturers, people who we would call neighbors and employ a lot of local Nevadans, make it harder for them to keep their businesses open.
A final question, and it's a quick one. Jackie Rosen, has already outspent your campaign by about $5 million in advertising. Democrats also have about $30 million in advertising reserved, basically to fight against your candidacy. How do you expect to be able to overcome that?
Well, look, to me, I take that as a good news sign that they understand that they're in a bad position, that they have to spend so much money and basically cannot break away in this race. It's still a toss-up race despite the spending that they're putting in. A lot of that spending is meant to try and disparage me and define me in some negative way. They can spend all they want. We have Nevadans, as well as grassroots Americans all across this country rallying to help us. We're up on air right now with our own ads. The cavalry is coming. We will win, and it doesn't matter how much they spend.
Captain Sam Brown, U.S. Army veteran and Nevada Senate candidate on the Republican side. Thanks, Sam.
Thanks, John.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.